Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry, who's live at the White House with what the president's doing to fight terrorism. Good evening, Ed.
Good evening, Brett. Today, the president's spokesman claimed it's inaccurate to say that radical Islam is to blame for the Paris attacks. In their first face-to-face since Republicans took over Congress, President Obama again pledged to work with the GOP.
I'm very much looking forward to not just this discussion, but some real collaboration.
Though a few minutes later, Press Secretary Josh Earnest left the door open to going around Congress again. When asked if he's willing to admit the president cannot shut down the U.S. military prison at Guantanamo by executive action.
Well, I'm not willing to jump that far ahead. The president may be able to prevail upon enough members of Congress to work with him to achieve, again, a goal that is shared by Democrats and Republicans.
Except the new Republican chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Richard Burr, wants the opposite. Today, pushing legislation to halt all transfers of terrorists out of Gitmo, since most remaining detainees came from Yemen. And the Kawachi brothers, who led the terror attacks in Paris, had direct ties to al-Qaeda in Yemen.
We realize that anybody that might be at Guantanamo or anywhere in the world that has knowledge and texture of Yemen in 2011 is a legitimate source for us to go to and to run the names of the brothers and to see if there was talk of an operation.
The fallout also continued over the White House's failure to send the president or another high official to Sunday's massive Paris rally against terror. And the criticism was coming from the president's usual allies.
Couldn't Obama have at least sent a friend?
Although former President Jimmy Carter tried to support Mr. Obama in a Yahoo News interview with a line of defense the White House probably did not need.
I know that President Obama's just come back from vacation. I know how it is when you've been gone for a week or two. Your desk is piled up, and he had other pressing problems to address.
Politico reported White House officials are counting on Monday's admission of a mistake to lead reporters to get bored and move on, as aides again refused to discuss what the president was doing instead on Sunday.
Did you get a chance to have a conversation with the president?
Well, there were conversations here at the White House about that, but I don't have anything to share about that.
Is the president upset that this decision that involved all these other world leaders, that it just never reached his desk? Has he expressed any anger about that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Joe Lieberman, the former Democratic vice presidential nominee, today blasted the administration's refusal to blame the Paris attacks on radical Islam.
Sure, there's forms of extremism that threaten us, but the one we're at war with is violent Islamist extremism. That's the force that attacked America on 9/11.
Ernest responded by saying it's inaccurate to use the phrase radical Islam because it does not describe our enemies. He said the terrorists in France tried to justify their actions by invoking Islam, and using that phrase, calling it out as radical Islam, just legitimizes their warped view of the religion, Brett.
Ed Henry, live on the North Lawn. Ed, thank you.